Hello, second grade. All right, happy Tuesday. It is time for phonics, and we are going to start by reviewing our sight words and then jumping into our phonics rule practice. So I'm going to show you the words. You're going to have 3 seconds to say it before I say it, okay? So, because we already saw these yesterday, we got some practice with writing them down. So I just want to see if we can start saying them as quickly as we can, and if not, I will say it after 3 seconds. So, first word, sometimes. Something. Until. Under. Across. Usually. Hundred. Since. Unit. And on the back of this one, actually, it is order. So that is all the sight words that we started looking at yesterday. If you feel like you need some extra practice today, go ahead and just start the video over and you can try and beat me again, okay? The next thing I want to talk about, or the next thing we're going to go over, is our phonics rule for the week, which I'm going to show you just a picture to start. And what is this a picture of, everyone? It is an eagle, okay? And so an eagle starts with what sound? And E, right? We hear that E at the beginning of eagle. So we're going to be talking about that long E sound. So that E, which is kind of funny because I think that's the sound an eagle makes also. It goes E, E. But there are lots of spelling patterns to use to make that long E sound, just like with the long A. So we're going to talk about those spelling patterns and then get some practice with identifying the different ways that we can use it. So the E as an eagle can be made with an E by itself. It can be made with an E blank, like a consonant, and then another E, because that's a silent E at the end. So this could be any consonant right there. And to create that magic or that bossy E rule, an E together, an A together, a Y at the end of a word can say E. IE at the end of a word can say E, and then even in the middle of an E or of a word sometimes. And then EY at the end can also say E sometimes. So we're going to focus on mostly this side over here, these different ways to create that long E sound this week. And I am going to give you guys some examples. So the first one we're going to talk about, so eagle is a word that begins with that long sound E. I want to hear you guys do that E one more time, just like an eagle makes. Go E, E, E. Yeah, just like that. So we're going to start with the vowel consonant E. So E is a vowel. We could put any consonant there, and then an E at the end makes that E say its name. So for example, there might be a word like the name of one of our favorite book characters, Pete, right? So we have that vowel consonant E. That E makes that E say its name. So that is an example of that vowel consonant E rule, VCE pattern. So the word these would be another example of that. So we see the E at the end, but we see that vowel consonant E pattern. So that E makes the E before the consonant. S say its name. So it's these. And then the silent E at the end, we don't hear that second E. So then, just like last week, we learned about some vowel teams. This week, we are doing vowel teams again, but these are different vowel teams. There's two E's together that makes one of these vowel teams, and EA can make a vowel team that both say the sound E. So for example, we have the word team. So in the word team, we see that vowel team. I want you guys to say what the vowel team letters are. It is the E and the A. Those E and A work together to create one sound, which is E. E, A together says E. So we got T, E, M. And that word all together is team. Another example, here, I'm looking at my notes over here. The E and the A made that vowel team. So there might be the other vowel team that we want to look at that says the letter that makes the sound E is this word. So do y'all see that second vowel team we were just looking at on this card? We already did EA. The other one was EE. Do we see an EE here? We do. So we can see that EE as a vowel team, which makes it the E's say E, and we go W, E, O. So this word all together is wheel. So wheel is another example of that EE vowel team. So sometimes E by itself at the end of a syllable says E. So for example, so that's the E by itself up here that can say the long E. For example, the word she. So that we have sh, E, because that E is the end of the syllable. So having that E at the end of the syllable can say the long E. So in another one, I want to show you guys real quick along the same lines where there's that single vowel at the end of the syllable is a Y, because sometimes Y pretends to be a vowel. So that Y right there, when we see the word baby, actually makes what sound? It doesn't say yeah. We don't go baby. We say babe E, don't we? So we hear that E sound, okay? So the letter Y sometimes can stand for a vowel sound and right at the end of a syllable, or at the end of an open syllable where it ends with a vowel, that Y is going to be considered a vowel and it makes the long E sound. So I just want to hit one more thing real quick as we're introducing these different ways to make that E sound. We said EA is one of the ways a vowel team that can say E. So for example, if we have the word team like we did earlier, I want to point out EA does not always say E, not every single time. There will be times where EA says something different. For example, in the word head. Head is spelled with an EA, but in this vowel team, it is not saying E, it is just making a sound like an elephant. So that would be the short E sound. So sometimes EA says the long E, that is E, or sometimes it says the short E, which is eh. Okay, so if you try this, sometimes that EA, and if you want to try it as a long E, you could say heed, but you don't know a word that says heed. So that's probably, you might want to try it the other way to see if that sound makes sense. So now what you guys are going to do is you are going to be moving on to the next slide, and the next slide is that way actually. So you're going to go to the next slide and you are going to be looking at words that make the long E sound like eagle. And you are going to use the boxes to highlight the long or the letters that make the long E sound, okay? So that's what you're going to do just to practice identifying the spelling patterns that can make the long E sound. So you're going to highlight the letters that make the long E. All right, guys. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful Tuesday.